Welcome survivors, burnout community, and those just interested. It's Kelly Bubolz, owner, trainer, and burnout prevention mentor at KB Training Connections. Burnout is not taboo. It's our reality in this fast-paced society. But we are not going to let it drive the narrative to our stories. We're going to do something about it. So let's dig in. In this episode, I really wanted to focus on the difference between stress and burnout, because I often hear people talk about burnout and they talk about it on a casual basis. And it's not that there's a misunderstanding, it's that we need to know the difference so that we know when we cross over that line, that we know that we really have to get focused on a recovery plan before it gets too bad. That there's a difference between temporary and chronic. And the chronic is the scary state. That's the burnout. That's where you start to see the chronic diseases start to increase. That's when you start to see the aches, the pains, the behavioral changes. And that's a scary part because the body's a beast and it's super resilient. But if it no longer can bounce off this stress, relieve this stress, turn it around, that means it's had enough. And it's about to get very bad for you. So in a recent product that I created with the Burnout Recovery Workbook, we break down this a little bit more so you can have a good understanding of what is stress and what is burnout. And this workbook purely was created because I already have the book, Leaving the Darkness, a proven and practical guide. But what's the action plan? Unless you're going to write down a bunch of notes as you read that book, which I would hope, we needed a very specific self-paced guide to get you there. And that's how this workbook was created. I want to go through, just in this episode, the difference between stress and burnout and the focus we should have and what's within this workbook to get to an action plan, back to energy and away from this burnout and chronic stress, back to that temporary stress that is actually healthy for our body to thrive and change and grow. So let's just get a basic understanding of burnout or chronic stress. Burnout and chronic stress state is a state of emotional and physical mental exhaustion, and it's caused by prolonged stress. So if you had a rough week running around, it's getting nice out, we got baseball practice, run around with kid activities, that's okay. But week over week over week, weeks turn into months, months turn into years, that's the prolonged stress. And it can be caused by all different variables and factors. It can be caused by work, overwhelming workload. Who's feeling that? Lack of support. You're trying to change things. You're trying to do things. You're trying to be everything for everyone, and you don't have that support back. And it can be from constant pressure from childhood expectations, current expectations, partner expectations. And the symptoms are quite severe. It can include emotional and physical imbalances. It's important to know when you've crossed the line because it's that much longer back. So let's just dig into a few of these. And again, this is in the workbook. This is in the Leaving with Darkness paperback book. But I just want you to have a few tools to get started because I see so many people at these workshops and speeches and conferences that are just lost and lonely and in this dark place. And it's really important to understand this line and when not to cross it. So let's start with the managing emotional imbalances. So emotional imbalances are caused during that chronic stress state, and the symptoms that you need to watch for that are increasing are that anxiety, depression, and irritability. In the workbook, we describe the tips on how to manage these emotions and start to release the stress, including self-care and mindfulness, establishing healthy boundaries with people and relationships. And the interesting thing is the only way to get there is the journal prompts in the workbook, because you have to start reflecting on how you got there, why you're in this state and where you're going, to develop the coping strategies to improve your emotional well-being. It is amazing during my recovery, and when I coach people through their recovery, we don't know who we are. We don't really know and understand the things that bother us. So we have to have a good understanding of that base and where we want to go. Let's switch over then to the physical. The physical imbalances are caused during that chronic stress state and can kind of appear as fatigue, weight gain or weight loss, poor immunity. Are you getting sick all the time? Man, I had all these. And in the workbook, again, we dig down to the tips in managing, but we need to incorporate this balanced diet. It doesn't have to be these extreme diets or these extreme plans, but we need to be fueling with the good stuff. We need to be moving and exercising as little or as much as you want. Good sleep hygiene. Your brain needs rest. Your body needs rest. And we're getting insomnia and staying up late and can't wake up in the morning. You feeling that? You feeling like that zombie mode in the morning? That you want to hit the snooze all the time? Our bodies, again, we're programmed to be that way. So something is off. We're crossing over that line. We need to reflect on our current physical health to develop the healthy habits to improve to that energy. And again, that's in the book, but we need to really break it down with the journal prompts inside the workbook. And then we also touch on 2 other areas inside the workbook, but I just wanted to briefly go through these. In finding balance between work and family life, we need to start setting priorities and taking back control of our day, delegating tasks. When do we want to jump in, and when should we really be stepping back? And then, of course, managing time effectively. If I told you only had till the end of the year to live, I bet you would be doing things a little bit different. Time is not guaranteed, so we need to start switching our mindset, our time, to manage it with a life worth living. We can start reflecting on our work-life balance and where it's actually imbalanced. And the best part, my favorite part of why this workbook was even created is the goal setting and action planning. I don't know about you, but I've been to enough trainings and speeches and conferences and workshops, and you leave and no action is taken. So my favorite part of all my services is the action planning. What are you going to do specific to your lifestyle and your goals and your energy seeking journey? And how are we going to plan that out? That's my favorite part, the process, the journey. Because when you get to the goal, there's going to be new goals. So I focus on the process. There's so much power in the process. What realistic goals are you going to set in this action plan? How are you going to, again, develop the steps to achieve these? Through this workbook, we're going to summarize the key takeaways. Through a planner, through your monthly learning actions, we're going to start organizing this chaos back into control to gain and maintain this emotional and physical imbalance back to balance. If you're interested in learning more about the workbook, head out to my website in the show notes. Go check it out. It's a great supplemental tool to the Leaving the Darkness, a Proven and Practical Burnout Guide book. Or you can get it on your own, or we can incorporate it in your next employer workshop or conference. Remember, it's not too late to prioritize your well-being to recover from burnout and chronic stress. Because if you don't, and you keep going down to the darkness, it's that much longer back. So start taking time and investing in yourself, because if you don't, who will?
I know you're not lazy. Most people in burnout are high performers, those serving others before themselves. Don't discount this step today, the step in which you focus on your self-growth. Piecing together the puzzle is half the journey. Rediscovering energy through new actions and habits is the other. Do not underestimate the strength in your actions and the beast to do hard things that lies within you. Check out more burnout resources on my website to move from zombie mode back to liveliness. See you soon.